Hi everyone, welcome to Blue Heron Hill. I'm Sue and this is Tips on Tuesday. Now, last Tips on Tuesday regarded tomatoes and pruning your tomatoes. Well, I spent a few hours topping off my plants, and as I sit here, I found another group of flowers. Good thing I had my pruners with me. I'm going to take this down. This is a sucker. So I'm going to snip that out and I'll have to get rid of that. And as I see, there's a few more here. Since tomatoes are the gardener's most favorite fruit to grow, I'm going to give you another tip on tomatoes. And maybe even next week we'll have another tip on tomatoes. They are very, very popular. And as I can test in my garden, they certainly do take up a lot of real estate in my gardens. As you stand longingly staring at your ripening tomatoes on the vine and wishing for that fresh, juicy taste that you've longed for all summer long, and wishing that these tomatoes would ripen faster. Now, of course, we are in mid-harvest season. I have lots of tomatoes yet to be harvested, and maybe this is coming a little bit late, but I think it's timely anyways. So, should I pick this tomato now, or should I wait? Yes, you can pick it now. But it doesn't look ripe, does it? This is what is called the breaker stage. Now, I have to admit, as a gardener, I hadn't heard of what a breaker stage was until perhaps like last year. So, got a little definition here to explain what this is in tomato language. So the breaker stage is when they just start turning pink. Well, in this case, just start turning a little bit of their reddish color. They still have some green on their shoulders, just a bit, maybe even green down the sides. But at this point, since a tomato ripens from the inside out, and here, I even have another one. This one actually fell off. I just came out here and it was on the ground. But this is a Hungarian heart. This is, I like to even call them paste tomatoes. They are very pulpy with few seeds. Whereas this is a San Marzano. Definitely a paste tomato. But anyway, these two, I would say, are at the breaker stage. So a tomato ripens from the inside out. And when it reaches this stage, it's already riper on the inside than it is what looks to our eye to be ripe on the outside. So, and at this point in a tomato's life cycle, the stem area is hardening off and forming a seal between the tomato and the stem. The plant at this point in time has given everything it possibly can to this tomato. And all of the nutrients that it has supplied this tomato with in its life, during its life cycle are done. And it's just up to the tomato itself to finish ripening. So if it comes off the vine at this point in time, that's okay. This will ripen into a wonderful, nutritious fruit that you can use. And there seems to be no nutritional difference between a very ripe tomato that you just pick right off the vine that is fully ripe. I have one here that's a little bit more, and another one just fell off as I was trying to pick. But anyway, that's what a breaker stage is. So other points to make for picking them at the breaker stage would be to prevent them from splitting. This time of year, we're getting more rain. In the summer, we don't get that much rain. So a lot of natural rain is falling, so I have to come out and pick them early so they don't split. So, and then tomatoes are less susceptible to sun scald and cracking when they're picked at the breaker stage. This particular one has some cracking going on at the top, but I'm taking this anyway. It's a good one. So there is an increased yield too by taking them at a breaker stage. You can reduce the stress on the plant and potentially lead to more tomatoes overall on your plant. Also, and the tip from last week on pruning your tomatoes is going to increase your yield, not in quantity, but in quality. So preparation for the frost is another one. We are Labor Day here. I have another month and a half, maybe, if I'm very lucky, and hopefully I will get all of these tomatoes to the finish line. But when you have a drop in temperature, the production of your tomato plants decreases and slows up. So being able to pick them at this breaker stage and take them indoors and have them fully ripen then is a benefit. So how do you ripen them indoors? So when you take these and you take them indoors, they need to be taken into a dry and a semi-warm place. I'm not talking high temperatures, but you don't want low temperatures either. You don't want anything in the 50s. You want them at least 60, 65 or above. So a dry porch inside your house if you have room, spread out so they really aren't touching each other. There's good airflow around there, and they should ripen in a few days. Now, if you want to ripen them really fast, place them in a paper bag with an apple or a banana, which releases ethylene gas, which will help speed up the ripening process. So that is our tip on Tuesday for when to pick your tomatoes and get them all to the finish line before the frost comes. So if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, please pass it along to other people that may be interested. I would appreciate that. And so until the next time that we can go digging in the dirt, happy gardening. Bye.